guys, welcome to Creativity and Inspiration. If you're new, welcome. I'm so happy you found us. If you keep coming back, thank you. You know how special you are. Today we are comparing tape. And we're comparing tape, so if you want to get a nice clean edge, or if you're using it in a painting or a craft and you want it to have a nice clean edge or curve to it, we're going to see which tapes are the best. And I have no idea, so let's just jump into our video. Okay guys, well, I was talking away and it didn't record, but I can catch you up. I haven't really done anything yet. This is watercolor paper, and we're going to test our tape. The tapes we're testing are this art tape, medium tack, and acid-free, so this one. We're also testing the blue Scotch painter's tape, the original. We're testing this purple Scotch delicate surface tape. We're testing this green frog tape, and we're testing this black art tape that is from Costco. I think this one is not the same as these. I think this one is actually art tape. It's meant to be a line or something like that in the actual art itself. These are used for what we're going to use them for, but we'll see how it does. These four all feel like a type of paper, and I tore them. The black one actually did something kind of strange. As I was peeling it off to tear, when I went to tear it, it actually stretched like that and broke and did that. So I ended up cutting it just for all clarity because I thought I was filming that. So it is totally different in its texture, its feel, and how it reacts than these four. Now, the paper we are using is watercolor paper. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm testing it with acrylic paint and watercolors, which is what I use. Those two paint types are both water-based. So I am using watercolor paper, and all I did was take one sheet for each type of paint and put my tape on. I rubbed each one exactly like that, and that's where we are. Now, what paints am I using? For watercolor, I'm using the watercolor palette I use most of the time. It's from Amazon. The tapes are all from Amazon. I will link everything below, the paper, everything, even the brushes. So I'm using this palette for the watercolor, and I have this blue paint, which this brand isn't made anymore, so I won't be able to link this, but I'm using this color blue acrylic paint. And then the brushes are just the blue brushes that I use all the time. Okay, now we're all caught up. I'm just gonna paint on over the tape. Then we will peel it up after it dries to see about seepage, how well it comes off the paper, is there any tearing, that sort of thing. And again, this is the green frog tape. This is the white art tape right here. This is the blue Scotch tape, purple Scotch tape, and the black Costco tape that I don't think is made for this. But I could be surprised. And I don't currently use any of these tapes. I would like to, which is what gave me the idea for the video, because currently I use washi tape, and as you can imagine, I don't get a very clean line from washi tape. So I'd like to have a tape that I can put down on paper, will peel off nicely. Washi tape does peel off nicely, but that peels off nicely from the paper, but I have a nice crisp edge because I want to use it for prints and postcards. Also, exciting news, I've been doing digital art for a year I've been doing digital art for over a year. I've been using Procreate, and I've created so many postcards that I like that I thought I would do a summer set. So it's going to be a mixture of a fruit, vegetable, like avocado, lemon, and then there'll be a couple of birds, or a bird and a bee and an ant, or a bee and a bird and a flower. So stay tuned, and I will be showing you the sneak peek, and I'm going to do pre-orders. Okay, we're just gonna let this dry. Both papers dry, and when they're dry, we'll be back and we will peel them up and see which tape gives us the cleanest lines, less paint seepage, and doesn't rip up the paper underneath. Okay guys, so stay tuned for the postcard pre-order. I'm really proud of them. I'll do like a little show and tell of all the images I've done on Procreate, maybe before the next video on Friday. Also, I am going to do the clay video, but since I've never done clay before, I thought I would do the first couple off camera and record it so you can see any mess ups, but I want to make sure when I bring it to you, there's at least some good content in there. So that will be next week for sure, because I'm already filming and you can see a lot of mess ups, because I believe in showing you guys all the mess ups, because it doesn't always work perfectly. In fact, most of the things I try don't come out perfect the first time. All right, I'm gonna start by pulling up the acrylic paint side, and I'm gonna just start at the top, which the green frog tape was the first one I laid down. So I'm just gonna start here. Oh, let me get my glasses on. Oops. Oh, that's nice. It came off easy. I don't know if you could tell by that pull. I pulled gently, but that's how I will pull. It came off nice and easy. There was no ripping of the paper. And there's a few little blips in, but overall, very nice, clean lines. Okay, next we are pulling this tape up, and we are on the acrylic paint page. Okay, again, it came up. There's a few more leakages underneath on that one, but still a really nice crisp line. Okay, now we're doing the blue original Scotch blue. Whoops. Wow, again, there's some little blips, but they've all had that, but overall, they're all about tied. Okay, now we're going to pull up the purple Scotch Delicate Surface tape. And again, same thing. There's not a lot of bleeding underneath. There's a little blippies here and there, but overall, I would say it's a success. And they've all pulled off the paper. There's no peeling, pulling up of anything. They've all been equally as good. Now this black tape is the one that I'm really curious, because I don't think it's meant for this. This is the art tape. I think it's meant to be like, you could use it as a pinstripe on a car in an art project or something, but we'll see. No, it came off perfect too. It has a little more blipping, but I would say across the board, they're all equally as good. Probably the one with the least amount is the green frog, but again, I would use any of these. I'm happy with all of that, and I don't see any major issues. None of them pulled up the paper. And this was with the acrylic paint. Okay, let's go check the watercolor paint. Maybe we'll get a better idea of a winner of this test. Okay, again, we're going to start with the green frog tape. Very nice, very crisp, very clean. Okay. Next, we're gonna do the art tape. Oh my goodness. Enough, again, very crisp, very clean. No issues. We're going to do the Scotch Original Blue Tape. Clean, no peeling or pulling on the paper. Okay, the Scotch Delicate. This is amazing to me. They are all performing really well. I pushed them all down really well. Let's do the last one, the art tape from Costco. And guys, again, they all performed equally well on the watercolor paper. Now we'll put that in there. So that was on the watercolor paper, and both the watercolor paint and the acrylic paint. Let me write watercolor. It's watercolor paper, 140-pound cold pressed. And the other one is the same thing. So both had extremely clean lines, no problems pulling up on the watercolor paper. Okay, let's get a piece of everyday printer paper and just try that to see how it does. All right, this is just normal printer paper. I'm going to put a strip of each one down again. And we're going to do acrylic paint this time because that's what I use on this paper. As you can see, this one still stretches and has a rubber texture. It really reminds me of electrical tape. Okay. Now let's do some acrylic paint. And we'll test the same thing, how the tape sticks to the paper and how well it keeps out the orange acrylic paint this time. And again, this time we're on printer paper, which is just 20 pound paper. If you notice, this time I even did the brush this way as well as this way, just to see what would happen. We're gonna give this just a minute to dry, and then we will pull it up and see how we did this time. Okay guys, we're gonna start with the first one we put down, which was the purple. Okay guys, we're gonna start with our first one, which is the purple Scotch Delicate Surface. Okay. You can see that on the copy paper with the delicate surface, the paper actually pulled up with the tape. The lines are nice and crisp, but the paper itself pulled up, and you can see it on the tape. Okay. Next, we're going to do the original blue Scotch tape. And we might have had just a little bit of it pull up there, but not very much, and the lines are beautiful. Okay, next is the green froggy tape. Beautiful lines, but again, the green froggy tape pulled the paper up. Okay. Next, we're going to do the art tape. And it pulled up the paper too, as you can see right there. The lines are all beautiful and crisp, but so far they've all, well, the blue Scotch tape just pulled up just a hint of the paper, but the other three pulled up a lot of the paper off a large layer off the paper. Now we're going to do the black Costco tape. So let's get this. Yep, and that peeled off the most amount of paper. So interesting. So this was acrylic paint on 20-pound, I was going to say copy paper, printer paper. So interesting. So guys, it seems like if you want to use any of the tapes on a watercolor paper, you're going to have good results with no paper tearing whatsoever. But if you want to use something to get clean lines on something as simple as a piece of printer paper, none of these are going to be your answer because they all had paper. Even the blue one right here had a hint of paper on it, and it's just that little dot right there. So it had the best, but the rest had, the purple had a lot. The green had a lot. The black had the most because it pulled up all the way down. And the artist tape even pulled up, as you can see right there. Let's try something because I've been using washi tape, like I said before. And it's been okay. It hasn't been too bad. But let's see here. I was using a washi tape that I don't use very often. So let's try this one. I hate to use washi tape for this though because it's, you know, can be pricey, especially now. Let's see if I can even get this one started. This wasn't the one I've been using, but this is one that I would use for this because it's not one I would use, but it's not coming up. Let me get another one. I really need to go through all my washi tape and take out what I'm not going to use or donate. You know, take out and donate. Okay, I'll use this one. So I'm just going to put it right here. Okay, this is the washi tape. I've still got my brush in here, and I've still got the paint. So let's do this real fast. Oops. This brush, I pulled it apart one day washing it, and I forgot to glue it back together. Okay. So let's let this sit for just a minute because it's really not, well, we want to see the line, but we also want to see, does it rip the paper? Okay. And I'm just going to pull it up very gently, just like I have all of them. Okay. Overall, it's very clean and it didn't tear the paper. I guess if we're going to paint on something like printer paper, that's just a very inexpensive type of paper, then we might want to use a washi tape that we have, maybe that we don't particularly like, because it does make smooth lines and it didn't rip up our paper like all of these other ones did. So okay guys. Well, what did you think? Were you surprised by the results? Do you use one of these tapes I tested? Do you use washi tape? Are you going to try one of these tapes to get crisper, cleaner lines? Let me know down below in the comments. So guys, thank you for being here today. If you liked the video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, don't forget, hit that subscribe button with that little bell, because we have a lot of great videos coming your way. On Friday, we will have our paper appliques. Next week, we will have our clay video, because I wanted to make sure I could do it, honestly, because I'd never done it before. But you will see all my trials and tribulations, and I will tell you about any problems I had, because I keep it real, guys. Also, if you, I will be sharing the postcard set that I'm going to do a pre-order for on Friday, if you're interested. And what else? Were you surprised by today's results? Do you use one of the tapes I tested? Do you think you might use one now? Or are you just going to try washi tape? Thanks for being here. As usual, take care, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.